alien being has usurped the place of spirit. And it was able to do that because you looked. Everybody looked for the divine outside of itself. For give me guidance, God. You are part of God, as it turns out. But if you look outside for the holy, they're happy to oblige and fill the gap. Some hostile alien being took the place like a parasite in the bodies of man, and eventually all of the original ones, and said, here, we're spirit. Let us give you all the religions of the world. Then we can control you. Through religion, they have control. It's the quasi-spirituality that it peddles us. Because after all, we were trying to find the holiness. Well, if you haven't listened to that November webinar, please do. But it is such an eye-opener. Then, we are saying, be gone, these man-made institutions, as it turns out, is something more hostile even than man, but perpetrated by man, these hostile churches and religions and things that wage wars and holy wars and persecute and divide. It's only there because we empowered it there. Well, why is that? Because true spirit was forgotten in the millions of years since those alien beings took over the place of spirit in man. It's a level of existence, right? A level of the field that makes up your body. So, what was left, that vacuum that they could come in? What did that? We forgot what it's like to live true spirit. What true spirit's nature is? Wholesomeness. It is wholesomeness. Tina and Karen, I think, and Robin and Sandy was one of them. They started a little group with their anchor rings because they bought these sterling rings and they loved them, and they made a little group. And I thought, oh, that's nice, That night I had vision after vision after vision, how that anchor group would spread around the world. Because what it brought was the anchor within. See, the yellow light in which you are, its nature is to hold, to prevent expansion and contract. It holds. It's the anchor. Spirit is the anchor. And my sweethearts, the anchor within is to return home to yourself and live true spirit. True spirit's nature is wholesomeness. And, I am amazed at how the wholesomeness concept of the anchor league, as they're called, has taken hold of our family. In Cameroon, in Africa, in Iceland, in Cape Town, in New Zealand, in Australia, in Shanghai.
In Ireland, pretty soon.
In Ireland, they are establishing a chapter. The Europeans have established a chapter out of Amsterdam. The Russians are establishing a chapter. It is growing, and I saw that. So we have very carefully, the board of the anchor group have very carefully laid the foundation meticulously so that any league anywhere has the mold in which to build an anchor league chapter of their own, and gather people, and daily information is provided so that they can relearn the wholesomeness that is missing, forgotten in the chaos of a decaying society. The drugs, the pornography, the level at which we lost ourselves. Wholesomeness is described, inspired day by day. Our website is just being completed. I sort of might like to know when, but it's pretty soon. And it's the gateway to the Facebook, the Anchor Facebook, which is to support the intense desire to live. Why? Because it's time. You are in the macrocosm that represents true spirit. And true spirit needs to be relearned. Because it was all this time just usurped by something foreign. It is amazing. So, what we do, and I just want to throw this out real briefly, and then, my darlings, I'm going to let you be in silence, and I want you to be able to see the sunset over the ocean. So it's now 3:30. The sun starts setting around 4:30. So we'll just be in silence the rest of the day, and please feel free, just take that little road down and walk on the beach if you want to, or curl up under your blankets. But the sunset is so beautiful over the ocean every night. And it is necessary to see something beautiful every day. Beloved ones, just to sort of close all these very abstract things with something more practical. For instance, the Anchor League members have additional advantages just beyond this absolute support that day by day we hold their hands as we all relearn how to be living from true spirit in wholesomeness. But we give giveaways as gifts of gratitude. I can't tell you how happy I am about them, the Anchor League members. How I can see that little light just glowing in dark Africa. How I can see the Asian Shanghai member just sparkle, Ecuador, all over. It brings such joy to my heart. It's like light bulbs going on around the world. And so, for instance, New Year's Eve, all the Anchor League members, Tina is serving as president. We have our board members here. All of this is done so that there's structure, so you have a format to follow. We give you the exact minutes of their meetings so you can see how to shape it. But if any of you in your country, from where you come, want to do an Anchor League group, you'll need a board of like-minded people. Each one has a special function to make everything work. But what I do is I've been giving the anchor rings, 50 anchor rings. Our anchor rings sell at $25, but I give the first group of anchor rings free, 50 of them, to somebody that is starting up an Anchor League in their country. We have a meeting with you, or Jan does. If you do have one like that, it'd be good for Tina to be present, but not this week, because I have threatened her with terrible consequences if she doesn't rest. So, not wanting terrible consequences, Jan is the one to have the meeting with as to how to get it started. But we give you that, then as you sell it to prospective members, we sell it at $25. But listen, if you're in Jamaica and you know that people can only afford 10, that's up to you. But then the money that you bring in, then you can buy future rings from us. To keep that going, but at least it gives you a starting point. And we are producing from these entries that I send to the Anchor League Facebook. We have a typewriter, a typesetter on our board that has been trained, and this beautiful, really heart-moving, if I say so myself, because I designed it, handbook is being produced from these guidelines, from these thoughts about wholesomeness. And so, it goes to Facebook, but it's also becoming a book. But for instance, New Year's Eve event, every Anchor group member will get a gift of gratitude. We will announce it, but we have their email list, and we will send them how to collect that gift of value over $100. Every month there are winners in the Anchor Group League. If you have your own league, we give you the same gifts. So if you, for instance, only have 25 members because you live in Bermuda or something, and only 25 members, well, that might not work, but if you have about 18 members or something, the free gifts also come to you monthly. There are 2 people here that, as part of the Anchor Group, actually one person here, because we also give gifts of, she's there. Oh, honey. I saw your face in the dream. I knew you were going to win it. And so we have, that was wonderful. See, my sister there and my sister Sandy, in October, I believe it was, that we gave away 2 free retreats. And those are 2 beautiful winners. We give away free power sigils. We give away free prophecies. Every month there's something. And if you have your own group, they get out of your group also winners. So if you have a smaller group than we do, and we're giving away, say, a free retreat, your group also gets somebody in there as a free retreat. So it maximizes opportunities to get, it's just a wonderful game for me. And I hope you enjoy playing it too, but so you move your anchor rings, day by day you support them. We've got a multi-server that with great effort has been set up to carry other league Facebooks and websites. So we have the server, we have the whole format. We'll help you set up what you need and get it off the ground. So any of you that want to think about it, there are some criteria. Do you have a group you can really work with to get some members from? Things like that. But you can sit down with Jan and see what it takes, and then I will get some rings together. Apparently I have to get 50 rings together. Every ring is blessed. Every owl cup is blessed. Every piece of jewelry in our shop has been blessed in anticipation of you being here. So we will get ready 50 rings for you for your country at any point if you decide you want to open an anchor league. That's what it is, the true nature of spirit. So I have said that there is this big equation happening in the time map. Remember? I said that? Well, each map actually adds up to an equation. Let's say there's 350 days in a year in the second time map. There's 350 days, each one lived a certain way, each one re-establishing an inner sense. It adds up to something. This coming year, starting in the beginning of 2019, when we have this last and extremely detailed time map working in conjunction with the 9th rune set and alchemical rune mastery, it has an equation. And it adds up to the accessible, it's either the accessible or the accessing. I am not quite sure. I just barely received it. So it's it means the ability to access. So however one has to say that, but the time of days lived well equals the ability to access the power, the repository of power of true spirit. Okay, think of that. The ability to access the repository of power of true spirit. Now, this, where we are here, the field of intent, is the field of spirit. Because we've said, body is red and soul is blue, and now we're in the field of spirit. Spirit, we have said, the color yellows, our chemical nature is to hold. We've equated it to money in the bank. It holds all the power that has come from all the other experiences we've had. Enormous money in that bank. And that equation allows us to take money out of that bank. In other words, it can redirect and access the huge repository of power held in the field of intent by its yellow light. So I have not spoken enough, okay? So my darlings, dress warmly if you're going down to the beach. It gets cold kind of quickly when the sun goes down. Okay. I sound like one. Who gave me this very beautiful silky pillow? I thought it was you. Thank you, sweetheart. It's wonderful. Thank you so much. And my darlings, I will not speak again till tomorrow morning. So take your time, be alone in your silence as long as you need to. Just let the information sink in without thinking.